Welcome to Tour Buds Live. I am your host, Andy, and I am with my co-host. Well, I was with my co-host, Derek G, but it looked like he had to drop out real quick, and that is okay. Things happen. This is a live show, and it is what it is. Derek always gives this little spiel about what the show is about, and basically, it's all about helping the up-and-coming artists. It's about learning from people who are doing or have done music in such a way where they, I consider that I consider it a success. Any band that gets out of their garage, out of their basement and tours, in my opinion, is successful. I think it's really hard to just get out. It's really hard to do first of all, it's hard to be in a band. It's hard to be in a band because think about a relationship. Think about how hard it is to be happy in a relationship with one other person. You're in a band with multiple people, and it's hard. Derek, and I'm with my co-host, Derek G.
What's up? Sorry, I'm a little technical difficulties sorting it out.
Hey, we have a really cool show ahead of us. We have Tim Goergen on from Blood Throne. Sorry. Blood Throne and X Within the Ruins. And honestly, I have been like obsessed with his vocals for a long time. He's a phenomenal frontman and vocalist, and he's going to be on very shortly. But first, I just wanted to. This show is all about love. And respect. We welcome everybody. We welcome everyone from every walk of life, whether you're it doesn't matter who you love, it doesn't matter what you believe in or don't believe in, it doesn't matter. I mean, this is a safe place. And you're welcome here. What I wanted to touch on with Derek is real quick before we bring Tim on is how weird it is, how weird life is. And how I feel like we're definitely in some kind of matrix. And Derek, you pointed out something recently from our 2 episodes back to back with Jay from Tired Radio and Dan Lamelli from Incendiary.
Yes, we had a little fashion copy, or we could call it that. Take a peek here. They appear to be wearing the same sweatshirt. Not sure who's designing these tie-dye masterpieces, but seems like it's the New York style of hardcore and rock and roll.
Yeah, well, I think we should be wearing those actually from now on.
Yeah, so if anybody's got a hook up for some tie-dyes,
yeah, we're looking for that. We're looking for some tie-dyes. Well, that's what we need. Hey, listen, before we bring Tim on, I just want to say how grateful I am to do this show. We had Jesse Zaraska from Misery Signals on, which was my favorite band of all time and my favorite singer. And I know how much Within the Ruins means to you more than anyone I know. I know that you listen to them religiously. Yeah, so I know that talking to Tim more than anyone means a lot to you as well. So like, this is really cool how we get to talk with musicians that we admire. We get to talk to people that mean a lot to us. And this, I'm very grateful. And I'm stoked. And Derek, what do you have to say for yourself? You've been gone for half the
episode. Sorry for my horrible computer. But yeah, super stoked. This has been an awesome thing. You know, we're only a few months in and we got to talk to some really, really cool people. Tim is someone, and Within the Ruins is a band that I listened to forever from Massachusetts, like myself. Did catch a, middle opener on a festival they were on, which was cool at one point. So yeah, I'm excited to talk to him. Get to see what he's doing these days, and what that was all really like from his end.
Let's bring him on. I want to know how he thought about how I vamped while you were away. Hey Tim, look at you.
Tim, what's up, boys? How we doing?
You look amazing. You sound amazing.
Thank you.
You were in the green room for the beginning of the show, and the show doesn't normally start like that. But how do you feel like I did when I just vamping? It wasn't amazing. I would give myself a 6 out of 10. Do you think it was okay?
I thought you killed it, man. That's a solid intro. You definitely have a voice for like podcasting and stuff.
It's a little. My voice is a little high, like prepubescent, but I just like go with it. I just embrace myself.
You own it well, Andy.
Yeah.
Hey, did you? I always like to talk to artists. Like back in the day when you play with a band that you like, you're like, hey, I played with you back in the 90s, and they're like, okay. Did you know that Derek played a show with you in the 90s?
No shot.
Where I heard you guys mention New York before. You guys are New York boys?
I'm in Jersey.
Okay.
Grew up in Mass, though. That's where I used to play in a band called Hell Within up there.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds very familiar.
Like we were from Lowell. We
Gotcha.
played like some weird festival at a rinky-dink ice rink in Maine or something like that.
I remember that. Oddly, I have a very good memory when it comes to shows.
It's a weird place.
Weird.
Look at you guys. You guys are gonna be like best friends by the end of the show. You guys are masked. Are you in Brooklyn now, Tim?
I'm in a neighborhood called Ridgewood, so it's right on the Queens Brooklyn border.
Oh, I know Ridgewood. I know
yeah.
it. I love Ridgewood. It's actually really nice.
Yeah, I love it here. We've been here for 4 years, and we just renewed our lease for another 3 years. So, yeah, definitely love it over here. It's quiet, but it's like close enough to all the madness. You know, it's like a 15-minute walk to the subway and like all the bars and like Bushwick and stuff. So, it's a mile and a half to our shop too, which is very convenient.
Have you been to KCBC over there?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dude, the place is insane. I mean, shout out free promotion to KCBC, but KCBC in Brooklyn and Bushwick is sick. Like their beers are ridiculous.
They're good. They're good friends with my bass player's fiance, Megan. She owns a bar called Someday Bar, and they do a lot of stuff together, KCBC and Someday Bar. So definitely, I've hung out with the owners and stuff a bunch of times, and they make rad ass beers. So yeah.
Yeah, beers. We know beer just makes people happy, and it's just like it's solid. And I love that you're in Brooklyn now. Let's get a beer one of these days. You know, unless this episode goes really fucking south, but like
I don't see it going that way.
I just don't think it's going to. I feel good vibes already.
Yeah. We're killing it already. So.
Hey, James Plays Drums said, "I'll fuck up a marble of doom." I don't know what that means, but he said that. He said right now.
That's my drummer for Blood Throne.
Dude, what up, James?
What up, dude?
I love that you're hanging out with us right now, James. I love it. Let's see how long you could hang with us. Let's see how long you could last.
Supposedly he's working on some new Blood Throne right now. I'm dude, send me the new shit.
Is he like one of the writers of the band?
Yeah, so he writes all the drums. Obviously, he records all the drums himself, and then he mix and masters our stuff as well, which he does for other bands. So if anyone's listening and wants their stuff mixed and mastered by James, he does that, and he's very good at it. But yeah, so everyone kind of has a hand in the writing, I would say. I think he is taking a whack at like a song that he's the predominant writer on right now. I heard a little bit when a couple months ago, so I'm intrigued to see what has changed, or if it's just something completely new that I haven't heard yet. I have no idea.
So is everyone from New York then? Yeah,
we're all New York City boys. I'm in Ridgewood. My bass player is in Bed-Stuy. James is in Harlem, and then our guitar player Mike is in Manhattan.
James, Harlem Public House. That's where it's at.
Yeah, that place rules. I've been there before.
We managed a singer that works there, Gray Star. Shout out to Gray Star. He's a fantastic singer. Yes. But I think, you know what, James, I want to see you too. I want to meet you in person. Let's get really like a little twisted, a little drunk. Let's see what happens.
He does that. He does that well.
So Derek and I actually met on tour in 2010, and it was really cool because my band was from New York. His band was from Massachusetts. And I noticed like we vibed immediately because it was kind of like a Northeast thing, you know? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like when you were on tour with Within the Ruins, you guys being from the Northeast, kind of it almost gave you like a step up on everyone else?
In the respect that, especially with like West Coast bands and bands that are like landlocked in the middle of the country, it's really hard to play multiple places without driving 10 to 9 hours to get to the next show, whereas the Northeast, you know, you can make a week out of it and hit multiple states with like short drives. So I think, and we would do that coming up. Like in my prior bands, we do Weekend Warrior stuff, so it kind of primed you a little bit for tour life.
But even just like the mentality, like there's
the mentality. Well, yeah, we're the fucking best, dude. Come on. all the sick bands come from the Northeast. Come on now.
Because it was cool. Like we knew we were gonna get along by the first show. There was some like homeless dude that came into Hell Within's van and started eating Derek's sandwich. And he started saying that he was gonna throw a fucking grenade in the van. And we were just like, holy shit. But then I looked and we looked at each other and we were fine. You know why, Tim? Because all of us had bats in the vans.
Yeah. You're ready for anything. I like it.
You're fucking ready. Gotta be ready to go.
Well, what band were you in?
I was in a band called Letter to the Exiles on Face Down Records.
Okay, yeah. I've definitely, I think we may have played together at some point too.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure we have.
Definitely.
That's one of those things where I mean, I think I block out a lot of that time because it was so wonderful and so great that I can't bear to go back.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, like, isn't it? I don't know what your financial situation is like, nor will I ask you, but I have made more money in the last few years, but I've been like, I don't think I've been as happy since like just being broke on the road is just kind of more fulfilling. Like, didn't you, was your experience like that as well? Just utterly fulfilling?
When I first started, yeah, for the first, like, before I even joined Within the Ruins, I was touring for like 3 or 4 years. So we were booking our own tours and doing everything DIY as fuck. So when, you play 6 shows and come home with a little bit of money, that was always good. Didn't usually come home with money, but every now and then you do, you know how it goes. But after I joined Ruins and we were touring full time, the financial part started to take its toll. Like after once I got into like my late 20s, early 30s, it was kind of like, all right, been doing this a long time. It's kind of like I kind of like have to like pay rent now, and like
when you get to your late 20s.
Yeah, so it got very stressful, and like at that point, like towards the end there, like I feel like I took stuff for granted a little bit looking back, and I kind of regret that a little bit. But now I'm in a really good financial situation, and with a new band and stuff, starting from scratch, which is tough. But we did a little weekend run a couple of months ago, which was fun. So it was kind of like dipping the toes back into the old life,
For sure. Are you guys planning on doing more stuff, or is it just kind of like, well, the Weekenders light?
We're just gonna keep it light, because like I own and run 2 businesses. My drummer James, he's like a drummer for hire, so he just did some stuff with Revocation. I think he's doing some more stuff later this year actually with them. So he's constantly busy. My guitar player Mike, he's been doing stuff with a band called King Woman, and he has a full-time job. And then my bass player works a 9-to-5 job. He's super busy, so like to keep it light, keep it fun. No hard deadlines or anything like that. But yeah, we'll probably do some more weekend stuff in the Northeast and just kind of keep it cash.
Nice. Is that hard for you to do? Like for me, like I haven't really joined bands again for the whole like kind of thought of like, if I do it, I'm gonna want to, like, I know how to do it better now, and I would want to like pursue it fully. Regardless if I say it or not. But
yeah, it's funny because we did a weekend. It was like 3 shows, and like when you're touring, it's like usually 3 or 4 shows is like your warm up, and then you're like, okay, I'm good to go for like the next month and a half now. But then it's like you just come home after that. So like it's kind of like a cock tease, but
exactly.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to do. I mean, the weekend it's better than nothing. But
yeah, it's something to look forward to. It's kind of like you kind of have your cake and eat it too, because like you get to experience the tour life in a very small scale, have fun with your friends, and play some sick tunes and in front of some people, and have a good time. And then back to work on Monday. But it's cool. It's cool. I like it. And
great. You still got it, Tim. You still got the timbre in your vocals, your range.
Yeah, so it's nice to know that I didn't like lose it after not doing it for a little bit. Well, I mean, I've been pretty active vocal wise since I left Within the Ruins. I've done like a ton of guest spots, and like when like tour homies, I'd like Hot Dog Day was like Fit for an Autopsy a couple times, and like Last 10 Seconds of Life, they asked me to come up, so it's just kind of like all right, I could still sound good and do this live. It's all right. And then with Blood Throne, it's just kind of like I feel like I've hit like a new range, not a new range, but like how do I say it? I kind of like unlocked something new in myself that I didn't really know that I could do before, which is pretty cool.
That's really cool. Is that something that just kind of happened, came out, or you were like, this is kind of needs this?
Yeah, because before, like Ruins is not mainly, but it has like a lot of metalcore elements. So
yeah,
it's a lot of like high mid-range stuff, and I wasn't experimenting too much with like super high stuff. But like there's a black metal element in Blood Throne, and Cradle of Filth is one of my favorite bands. So I always tried to hit those Danny Filth highs, and I've been hitting them more and more consistently now, which has been awesome. And it's been awesome to like implement that into the music. When
I first heard you specifically, and I mean that's the first time I actually heard Within the Ruins in 2010. It was Invade, right? That came out in 2010.
Yeah, that was my first record with them.
It was your first one, and it just I just remember it felt like just a wall of sound. Like your vocals were just so fucking powerful.
Thanks, man.
And I feel like that's that album. I mean, I feel like that album put you on the map, like more than, I mean, I know the band was doing things, right? I know you guys were signed, all that stuff, but I feel like once you got in the band, it was just like a whole different beast.
Yeah.
I mean, you came from not doing that. I mean, not touring full time, and then all of a sudden jumped right into it. I mean, take us through that whole process of having to all of a sudden fill someone else's shoes.
It wasn't too hard of a transition because I was in a band called She Is a Liar before Within the Ruins, and we would tour together pretty frequently. So before I joined Ruins, I would say She Is a Liar toured maybe like 3 or 4 times a year. So the transition of like, I already knew the guys, I was already, really good friends with them. And then when they asked me to join, Creature had just come out. And so I did all the touring on that record. I had a chance to get used to singing those songs and getting accustomed to that style. And then it was time to do Invade, and I just put my own stamp on it, and it was kind of seamless. And I still love that record. I listen to it every now and then. I'm like, a lot of stuff I would do differently. Of course, you mature and stuff, but maybe I'll do like a vocal cover of some stuff and kind of like. Did
you write the lyrics too?
Yeah, all the lyrics, all the vocal arrangements. It's all me. Pretty much everything I've ever done, it's been mostly all me.
Yeah.
I just know. I think your writing is very. I don't want to say catchy in a bad way. It is catchy though. Like not many people in metal or any kind of heavy genre have like catchy lyrics.
Yeah, I like the hooks, especially even in like verse stuff and like bridges and stuff. I like stuff to like stick in your head, and I'm a stickler for. I've always said this. I'm a stickler for like pronunciation and enunciation, because like I feel like when you could hear what the vocalist is saying, you get your point across way better, and it sounds way more brutal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Andy. That just kind of coming back to the Invade thing, like that album, I think sonically with the music and as well with you coming in with your vocal power changed the band. Like the band, I loved the band before. Like I like Creature, the album, a lot, and then when Invade came out, it was like it really was like a holy shit. This is It was just different.
It was and then the touring cycle that followed that, we started getting like better slots and better tours and stuff. So it was like, oh shit, like this is actually happening. We're doing the thing. This is cool. And it was a very exciting time to be a part of the band.
For sure. What were some of those like first early things that you were like kind of like the oh shit, this is happening moment, like where you guys were together, or you even yourself were just kind of like sitting there and you were like, this is...
I would say once we started doing like better tours and stuff, but we played a festival called the Jamboree Festival out in Ohio, and I forget who was headlining, but there's a shit ton of like huge bands, and we're like, okay, this is cool. And like we played in front of like 2,000-3,000 people, and I was like, yeah, I can get used to this. This is cool. Keep it coming. And yeah, we just, it got consistent and bigger from there. So yeah, it's cool. It's funny because I have all my like tour laminates framed in my house here, and sometimes like when I'm bored, I'll just kind of like look at the laminates and just kind of like pick one out and just like think about that tour, and like a random memory will just come to me, and I'll be like, damn, I thought about that fucking forever, dude. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Little memory box.
Yeah.
Do you like? I could point out one specific tour where I got so close, and it was so close with another band. And it was with Derek, with Derek's band, Hell Within. Did you ever? I mean, I liked everyone that I toured with, but I never like had a deeper bond with anyone else but that band. Did you ever have that moment where you got really close with another band on tour?
Yeah, a shit ton of bands that I still keep in touch with dudes to this day, like just checking in and stuff. The Fifth Row and Autopsy guys are close friends of mine. Oceano, the Veil of Maya guys, After the Burial guys. Oddly enough, the Plot and You, we used to tour with a bunch back in the day, and now they're blowing up and doing their thing. So props to them. Props to Lorna Shore as well, who are the kings of deathcore right now. So,
no shit.
Yeah. We took them out. I think their first trip to the West Coast, we took them out, which is fucking wild, man. They've come so far.
How does that feel? I know that you're happy for them, right?
Yeah.
But how does that feel to take someone out and they blow up? And like, not that you guys didn't, but I mean, now they're like the biggest thing on earth. Do you ever want a little bit of a pat on the back for that?
Not necessarily a pat on the back, because like, we're all in the trenches together, and only so many bands can pop like that. It's all right place, right time. Everything needs to kind of go right. And it was going like not good for them for a while.
Yeah.
with singers and stuff. And they found Will, and then boom, it just all happened. So I'm never one to be like, oh, it should have been me. It's like, hey man,
I'm not jealous.
We're all in it together. And like, if someone gets the nod to, go be the next big thing, then I'm all for it. Absolutely.
Tim, I'm a little jealous. I brought bands. I'm not going to say it, but we brought bands on tour, and that we were kind of like the Good Luck Chuck. I don't know if you're familiar with the feature film Good Luck Chuck with Dane Cook. But
I've seen it before. It's been a while, but yeah.
The premise is like girls found out that if they banged Chuck, they would find like
their husband right after that. Yeah.
So we were kind of like that. Like
you guys were getting banged all the time.
Yeah, they were just bands were just banging us. And then
there's been a couple bands. Chelsea Grin was one of those. We took them out, and they were our direct support for a tour, and then they released a record right after that, and they've been huge ever since. So yeah, I definitely get that.
And I want that for you. I want them to say thank you to you.
I mean, no, they're not going to say thank you to me specifically. They're always going to be good homies, and like, we can reflect on good times and on those tours and stuff.
Okay, it makes it better that they're nice to you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I have not encountered that I could think about anyone that I've been friends with or toured with since not touring anymore and not being in the band anymore. I can't point to anyone that has been a dick to me at all, ever. Everyone's always just been like homies through and through.
Well, you're obviously a sweetheart. That's why no one's going to be a dick to you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
It's not possible. Hey, when did you know that you had what it takes? Like, when did you know that you had such a fucking immense scream, or did you just were you confident off rip? Like, did you just know it?
I used to be a guitar player. Play guitar in like a new metal band with my best friend John back in the day, and we were at our friend's house just jamming in the basement, and they had a band called Rotten Pain, which I later joined because I didn't know that I could scream, and they were jamming on like Pantera covers one night. I just picked up the mic and went for it, and they were like, "Dude, you sound fucking good." I was like, I guess I do. Cool. All right. And then, just kind of made the shift to frontman from guitar player. And that was when I was like 16, 17, I would say. And just haven't stopped from there. Since then, like I joined, like I didn't not make music in a band like up until Ruins. Like when I left Ruins, that was like the most time in between bands that I've ever had, which was like a couple of years. So it was kind of crazy.
Yeah. How did it feel? How was that? You miss it, or you were like nice break for a little bit?
It was nice. It was nice at first, just because I was like, okay, you know, your quality of life automatically improves when you stop touring. Obviously, the bank account goes up, so which is nice. But you kind of, you know, I had like a full identity crisis, and I was like, who am I if I'm not, you know, Tim from Within the Ruins? And to kind of work through all that, you know, with the therapy, the whole nine and stuff.
I was going to ask you that. You went to therapy for that.
Yeah. I did a couple of stints in therapy, which was really helpful, super helpful. Kind of learned how to deal with major life changes. Because at the time when I had to leave and stop touring, like I would just like overstress myself and my blood pressure would skyrocket, and like I would drink too much and like just didn't handle life, like major life changes very well. So just kind of navigated that and learned a lot of like meditation practices and stuff like that, which I still practice to this day, a lot of breathing stuff, and kind of evens you out. And after a while, like I said, I would do some guest spots and stuff like that, but then it was time to like take it a little bit more seriously and you know, make music more consistently. And that's when Bloodthrone came to fruition. And super happy to be back at it with like a very manageable pace, you know.
Yeah, that's definitely important. I mean, I kind of, you know, musicians, I feel like that same like identity crisis. I know some like baseball players who are like same thing, they're pro, minor league, and like that ends and they're like, what do I do?
Yeah, because I never had a plan B, so it was just kind of like going through the motions for a little bit. And then luckily I found tattoo removal, and I've been doing that for like 6.5 years now. And I love doing that. That's, you know, it's been a godsend. But yeah, before that I was kind of like, all right, because I was driving Uber for a while, which was great in between tours and stuff to make like some decent money. But I was kind of like, well, I'm not going to be an Uber driver for the rest of my life. It's time to figure something else out here. But yeah, I'm on the other side of it now, and it's life is good. Life is good.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
It's a hard transition. I mean, even for, you know, I was not nearly at you guys' level, but I did, you know, leave the band. I started a family, kind of stepped away completely for probably about the same 5 years. And then me and Andy kind of linked up and started doing managing and kind of getting back into the scene, and, you know, just like starting over a little bit, getting into the scene and like the recent bands and what's what and what, you know, what's cool now. And like, what, you know, like you come back as like an old man dad. And then, you know, we sort of transitioned into this, which has been awesome. And it kind of,
this is awesome. I love the name too.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's super sick.
It's been a lot of fun, and it's nice. It just fills the void, you know, like it's enough. It's enough to hold it over and be
exactly
be home,
because it's
keep my
whatever.
life.
What I've realized, it's like when you're a musician and you do it for as long as anyone has, you know, and you've done it at the touring capacity, it's kind of like in your blood, you know. It's kind of you can't shake it or deny it. It's just, it's always going to be there. So it's important to scratch that itch as often as possible, for sure. As the older we get, it's good to, you know, definitely still do it, but at a healthy pace.
Exactly.
You know, I've played other genres and stuff like that, but there's nothing that fills that void than like just heavy music and seeing people go fucking ape shit.
Yeah, there's nothing else like it. Nothing else like it. Yeah, absolutely not. You know, being away from it for so long and then doing it again, it's just like, this is why I've been doing this since I was fucking 16 years old, you know, and haven't been able to stop.
So you actually played guitar first.
Yeah.
So did you actually assist in the writing for Within the Ruins?
Not really, because Joe is kind of the mastermind of the band. He kind of writes everything, programs all the drums for demos and stuff, and then the drummer comes in. They kind of input stuff like where he would do stuff, and I would kind of like have ideas as far as like parts and like how like they should maybe like transition or extend a little bit, or maybe like throw like, you know, like a super heavy part here, or just kind of like, I wouldn't like contribute any riffs because he's at a whole other level than I am at. So I can hold a decent riff, you know, but I'm not a shredder by any means. So I just kind of leave that to him. I just kind of, you know, poke my nose in every now and then when I thought just for like this, like the sake of the song and stuff, just kind of like,
yeah,
that's not songwriting, but like, yeah, just kind of like shaping the song. Yeah, not really a band you could just casually like pick up and like, hey, try this riff. Yeah, no. And she is a liar. I contributed a couple of riffs, but yeah. not I
think it's cool when it's not your instrument, and to be able to say, oh, I contributed with this riff, or like and as a drummer, I could say that for like 2 riffs ever, and it feels good to be like, yeah, like I don't even know why, but it does.
Yeah, like with Blood Throne, like we like to get in a room and like not practice it live, but like kind of like we either go to like Mike's house or James's house and just kind of like all have input on what's being written, even though like I'm not physically like recording the riff, but like just having like input on like direction and kind of stuff like that, which is, you know, super cool. It's very hands-on.
Tim is not the first person to say that, right? Derek, I don't think he's the first. I you know, like Rick Rubin, I feel like that's very Rick Rubin of like, I think some people could just feel it, right? Some people you could just feel the orchestration of it.
Yeah.
Say, hey, how about we double this or shorten this?
Yeah, absolutely.
And bring that. So maybe that's your thing. Did you ever think of that, like becoming a producer?
I've gotten offers to. It's just with my life at this point is I just have no time for it. And I wouldn't want to like disappoint anyone by like not being able to show up or anything. But I've definitely thought about it. But yeah, I don't know. It's just something that I never got serious about. But I have had offers to do that though.
Yeah. I think maybe you should give it a shot one day. Maybe
one day.
I believe in you. I really do.
Yeah. Get an album credit or two, a point or two on an album. That'd be nice.
If you get a point or two on an album. Have you ever done any other genre, like besides heavy music?
No, it's just heavy shit. Yeah, stuff that I have my name on that's out there. It's only been heavy stuff. I fucked around with like I guess punk rock for a little bit growing up. I was still a guitar player, just kind of like jamming with different people. But yeah, it's always been my not my go-to, but it's my favorite shit. So it is kind of my go-to, you know? Yeah, it's always been metal. I love it.
Are you? I assume just being a musician for a long time, you listen to a lot of different kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like I was always like love to play. I listen to heavy stuff like casually, but like it's definitely not my go-to normal hangout music all the time, which, I don't know if that's weird or not, but it's always been like the action being there and playing it is much more of what I prefer.
Gotcha. I love listening to it. I love all of it. It's funny because I was talking to a friend last night about like, because he stopped touring for a while, and it just so happened to be talking about it. And like, I realized that after I stopped touring, I kind of became a fan again, as far as like going to shows and like.
It takes a minute though.
But it took a minute because like, yeah, when you're touring full time, it's like the last thing you want to do when you're home is fucking go to a show. you're just at a show every day for fucking like 60 days straight. So
dude, you gotta let the dust settle. Yeah,
absolutely. But yeah, I love like buying tickets for shows now and fucking having something to look forward to and like being a fan again. It's something that I didn't know that I missed until I started experiencing it again and loving it again.
are you a sitter or like not like a babysitter, but do you like to sit at a show? Like Derek and I like to, we'd like to go to shows together now, but we like to try to get like the expensive, you know, because we're older and we don't want to just stand.
Yeah.
Do you do that as well?
I try to get for bigger shows and stuff like arena shows. I try to get general admission as much as I can. Yeah, like we just did went to see Slipknot at MSG for the self-titled 25-year anniversary. That was cool. And we just got tickets for 9 Inch Nails at the Barclays Center, which is in seats though. GA was sold out, but yeah, super stoked on that. And then got tickets for System of a Down and Korn.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we're going to see Deftones at MSG as well. I'm like, what fucking year is it? Like,
all those. I gotta get the Deftones and the Korn tickets myself because those. Those are just like
shocked that you don't have those.
I know. I get kids, man. It's hard to like plan shit ahead. It's like if I get them, it'll be like the week before, and I'll pay too much money for them. But whatever.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like tickets are way more expensive now.
Oh, it's crazy,
dude. It's insane.
It's
absolutely insane. They're like, oh yeah, our fan base is like, you know, late 30s, early 40s now. They can afford it. They can afford like a $200 ticket. Like,
yeah. Fuck. They're all coming out of the woodwork for their tours now. All those early 2000s bands are back.
Yeah. I saw Spineshank is doing a reunion for the height of Calisthenics. Everyone's fucking
even the hard bands like Poison the Well's back out.
I'm going to that one too.
They're all like, coming out of the woodwork. I'm waiting from Autumn to Ashes to announce their tour.
I'm sure it's coming.
Wait, where's that Poison the Well show? That's in
Brooklyn. It's at the Brooklyn Paramount.
Yeah. Right.
That venue's fucking gorgeous.
I haven't been yet. But
so sick. It's very grandiose. Very grandiose. And it sounds great.
Last time I saw Poison the Well was at the Warsaw, which is a great venue too. I don't know if you've been there in Brooklyn.
I love the Warsaw. Actually, last time I was there, Within the Ruins was playing with Kitty, and they actually called me up on stage, and I did the end of a calling card with them, which was fucking cool.
Oh, that's cool. That's another one. That's good.
Yeah.
You know.
Look at you. You're so cool right now. Just doing fucking vocals at shows that
hanging
you just
out, tattoo shops, and just getting called up in front of thousands of people. No big deal.
What's it like to be so freaking cool? Freaking badass. I feel like Stevie Janowski from was it Eastbound and Down? Freaking cool.
Oh yeah. Dude, one of my best friends, Armando, I don't know if he's watching this right. I think he's deployed. He's in the Navy, right? But he hung out with Stevie one night. And they got shit faced together.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah, dude. I was like, no fucking way. He like took selfies with him and stuff. I was like, that would happen to you. That's fucking awesome.
That character is amazing.
Yeah.
Stevie Janowski. I was in band. I wore a cape.
I did a rewatch of that show pretty recently too. It's fucking gold. I love that show.
I don't think he misses because like even now he's doing Righteous Gemstones, and that show is phenomenal because I come from a very Christian background.
Yeah, same here.
And so seeing that, it's like very accurate. You could tell the writers went through some shit, right? You could tell they know the Christian game, and it's just like insane. So you actually were brought up Christian.
Not Christian. I went to Catholic school from 7th grade until senior year of high school. It was all Catholic school. And,
any funny business?
No. Actually, the Monsignor of our high school got in trouble for diddling, but never
you.
Never me.
Maybe you weren't cute enough at that age. You grew from what is it? The swan? What is the ugly duckling into the swan? That's what you did. You were not cute enough to be diddled as a child, but you grew up, and man, those priests are wishing they diddled you.
Yeah, I honestly had a great time in high school. It was all boys. It was just a fucking savage hangout every day. It was so fucking fun. Actually, after our class graduated, the staff had a meeting. They were like, we can't let any other classes do what they just did to us. we tortured them. Oh my God. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Tim.
I had a friend who was like 2 grades below me, and he was like, yeah, dude, after you guys left, like they cracked down hard. It was not what it was like when you guys were there.
You tortured them.
Yeah, it was nice to see we left our stamp.
Was are you religious at all, or
no?
Anti?
No, not religious at all. I like to believe that there's some kind of higher power, but I'm not into all the scripture and Bible and all that bullshit.
Yeah, because I think coming out of it, I don't know if you've had. I think I had a more of like a Baptist, not Baptist, but like a evangelical Christian, like Righteous Gemstones. I had that kind of like. I had nothing until I had something at 15, and then boom, I was thrusted into this. Everything is a sin. Being a human is a sin, and it's just like it's tough to even like coming out of that. It's I don't know if you feel that, but like still, I have some times where I'm like, wait a second, I'm okay. I'm not going to hell right now. Like the first time you have premarital sex, you're like, shit. Oh, wait a second. I'm not going to hell. Wait, all right, I'm let's go. But it takes a while.
This is fucking sick.
This is sick.
Sinning kind of rules, dude. And it's kind of never stopped once I figured that out.
But the idea of like having some entity always watching you and judging you, did that ever fuck with you?
Not really, because I kind of saw through it pretty. Like right off the bat, I was very rebellious very early on and very intuitive, because like in Catholic school you'd have theology class where they would teach you about the Bible and all that stuff. So I'd be the dickhead raising my hand, be like, but that's a contradiction. How does this and then I got detention a couple of times because the priest just didn't know what to do with me. They were like, you're staying late after school, you got detention for being an asshole. I was like, all right. Still haven't answered my question though. You know.
Do you realize if they were like a good teacher, they would see that you're like intuitive, and I'm sure they could have like, I don't know. I maybe I'm giving people in religion too much credit, but I almost wish people were like, hey, that's great that you're open-minded.
Yeah. It's funny. I almost didn't graduate because I refused to like take the theology tests and stuff. I was like, this is all fucking bullshit. I was like, you can't like hold me back because my fucking parents are paying you for me to be here. And like, I pretty much aced all of my other classes. So I was like, come on, throw me a bone. Just get me out of here. I'll be out of here forever.
So that's interesting though, because your parents were paying obviously for you to go there. And then you were like rebellious. Fuck this. You thought for yourself.
Yeah.
What were your parents like with you at that time that you were kind of like, fuck this, I'm doing my own thing? Were you pissed at them as well?
They were kind of worried. More so my mom, because like I said, they were paying for me to go to school and stuff, and they didn't want me to like waste their money. But I was doing great and everything else, so it was just kind of like, I was like, yeah, but I'm not an idiot. I'm doing good in school otherwise. But like, I eventually like played ball and passed theology class and everything was fine. I graduated with no problem, but I'd later go on to write songs about it in my career within the ruins. So
yes, that's
who's got the last laugh now,
creating your own material.
Yeah, that's got to be such a great joy being a frontman and lyricist to get all of that shit out.
Yeah, it's cool. It's the best kind of therapy that exists for sure. Absolutely.
Were you pissed? Were you angry? Especially
at religion, yes. Still kind of am to this day because a lot of bullshit goes on in the Catholic Church and a lot of stuff that gets swept under the rug that you don't really hear about. So it's kind of, it's kind of a thing where I could talk about it now. It's fine. Like, I'm not going to get canceled or anything like that because pretty sure everyone's on the same page. But as far as like being angry, like, puberty hits and you got a rush of testosterone going through your body. You're going to be angry at some stuff. And that, I found metal and stuff, and it was just kind of like, this fucking rules. This is like, it's speaking like this is like my love language. Like, it's like the first time I ever heard double bass, I was like, what? This is a thing?
Same, man. Yeah. I grew up with jazz, so then like as soon as I heard like double bass and metals, it changed my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
changed my life.
And then like, you hear, like when Marilyn Manson first came out and like he was, putting the spotlight on the Catholic Church a bunch and stuff. And I was just like, yeah, this is like really kind of speaking to me right now. And, people that like didn't listen to heavy music that I went to school with. It's funny because we had uniforms and stuff. There's no like very little room for individuality when everyone kind of looks the same. But I guess everyone kind of looked at me as like kind of like the freaky kid, like not like goth, but like, yeah, I was like, I was listening to Cannibal Corpse in fucking junior year of high school. Like it was just me and a couple of buddies that were like into like the super heavy stuff. So, but the good thing about that in high school is like everyone kind of got along. Like there's different like different cliques and stuff, but like no one really. I mean, people beef every now and then, but like pretty much got along with everyone. Every single like different clique. I had at least a friend or two in each of them. So that's cool. That's cool. And we just had our 20-year high school reunion recently, and it's kind of cool to see. Not too many people showed up. I think it was like 12 of us, but it's good to see how everyone kind of like grew up and how everyone's doing now. And we all got hammered, and it was a good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We skipped my 20 year, which I was kind of pissed about. I don't know why.
But. Yeah. We did a 10-year. I was on tour at the time of the 10 years, so I couldn't attend that. And then we did a 20-year a couple years ago. It was a good time.
It's going to be different for you to come back from to an anniversary being kind of like you've done some cool shit. So you could come back, you're like, I'm not just Tim from Catholic school. Like I did all this cool shit. Were people kind of like praising you for that?
Yeah, a little bit. Like,
I felt good, didn't it?
It did feel good because that's when I started playing music was in high school. And like, they're like, dude, you fucking like did it. You did it for real. Sick. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Was there anyone that you had in mind like that you really wanted to see, like almost like look at what I did, like you wanted to point your finger and be like, check this out, like, or it seems like you were friends with everyone, so I don't know.
Not so much. Yeah, I didn't really have any enemies that I really wanted to
teachers that like said that you wouldn't do shit, and you're like, well, check this out. No,
because we terrorized our teachers. they did not talk shit to us at all like that. So no, I'm very fortunate in that case. They were legit afraid of us.
Did you? I mean, I know you probably after a while developed a lot of confidence, but did you ever have nerves before going on? What was your pre-show kind of ritual?
The first time I ever played, I was a nervous wreck. And then after I kind of like eased into it, it got easier and easier. But ever since I was, like 18, started drinking around like 16, 17. So always just, to this day, couple beers, couple shots, just to kind of like get the blood going.
Dude, that is something that I find insane.
Yeah.
To me, like every vocalist that Derek can attest to this, because his singer was like, I will not drink before I sing. How did you drink and still sound good?
Well, I kind of noticed that going into it kind of dry, you kind of second guess yourself a little bit, and not so much live in the moment. But when you have a couple of drinks, get a little loose, and you kind of live in the moment a little bit easier. Like I've been on stage wrecked before, and I don't. Yeah, don't do that. That's not a good situation. But just a couple, just to like get the blood going, and do your vocal warm ups and kind of get psyched up for the show. And I'm usually pretty zenned out before a show, honestly. Usually just kind of not meditating, but I kind of like center everything, do some breathing, get everything ready, and then as soon as I walk out, it's just like a switch flips.
Yeah,
and I turn into, my wife calls it Tim the Fuck Ruins. my alter ego, I guess. So yeah, if I ever like have a bad show or whatever, she's like, you weren't Tim Ruins tonight. I'm like, fuck, I know. Fuck. Because not every show is going to be your best, so it's good to have
it's
that
almost like acting. You have to dig deep inside.
Yeah.
And just become an animal.
It's funny because I'm a born and bred New Yorker, but when I'm talking, the drawl comes out a little bit, but when I'm talking in between songs, I'm from fucking New York. It comes out super, super hard. It's funny how that happens. Yeah. I noticed it a couple of years ago. I was like, damn, yeah.
It is my Boston comes out after a few too many.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
And I was the same. I always had to have a couple beers and shop before going on stage to get that, for exactly that reason. If I didn't, it was it took me a song or two to get the energy and the feel and really buy in you need to.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if the crowd's kind of feeling you out, they're not going crazy right away. It's kind of you can like I said, second guess yourself and kind of dial it back a little bit or play down to the crowd, which is always a bad thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can't even help it, sometimes it just kind of happens. But it's always good to get in that let's go mindset.
Can you recall a moment where you won a crowd over? Maybe it didn't start so well, and then all of a sudden you just fuck it, I'm gonna win this crowd over, and it worked.
Yeah, the first time we ever went to Europe, and I didn't realize this, but going to Europe for your first time, it's starting over all over again. Because we had only toured US and Canada and stuff, and people know you on this side of the world, but people know you on that side of the world too, but they're very much let's see what these guys are all about, very, very not judgy, but they're very
impress me.
Yeah, exactly. So we had to win a lot of crowds over in Europe for the first time. That was a fucking sick tour, by the way. It was Cartafex, Beneath the Massacre, Molotov Solution, and Betraying the Martyrs.
That's
super sick tour. Just being over there for the first time is mind blowing. Seeing all the sites and stuff in Europe was, very, very fucking cool. Yeah. But winning over crowds, and especially the language barrier is another thing over there, because it's I would ask in different countries how do you say thank you in this language, or just little phrases that I could say just to so they're oh, he's making an effort to speak my language and not just be a dumb American.
That's nice.
Yeah. So just little things like that to help win over crowds and stuff is a good thing to do.
That is a pro move. If any vocalists are watching this, learn, and you're in a different country, learn some of their native tongue. You will win them over.
Especially if it's the first thing you say, they'll fucking go crazy for it.
I bet. That sounds awesome. Yeah. They know that you're from America and you're fucking Ich liebe dich, you're in Poland. That means I love you, I believe. Or maybe it's German. Fuck, I'm so dead.
I have no idea. I don't remember, but first time we went to Japan, I was arigato, and everyone was yeah.
That's awesome. That had to feel cool.
Japan was
how was that tour?
Dude, I had no idea we were big over there. When we booked it at first, it was us and Era, and shout out to Era, by the way. They're also blowing up. They're also doing really well. We played Tokyo the first night, and it was just a couple hundred kids, and they're all singing the words and stuff, and I was just mind blown. I was
That's
I
awesome.
didn't know that we were big over here. And they're after the show, after every show, more or less everyone would line up and shake our hands and take pictures, and they were very, very thankful that we came, very appreciative, and signed a bunch of stuff that I didn't even know that we had and just distribution wise out there. I was oh my god, this is fucking cool.
You got an action figure?
Yeah, no, nothing like that. Just vinyls and stuff like that, which was super cool. And me and my wife went out there 2 years ago because I was I've always wanted to go back ever since. It's one of my favorite countries that I've ever been to, as far as food and culture and everything. Mm-hmm. And I had a blast out there.
I hear it's amazing.
Yeah, that's my wife's bucket list. So trying to work on that.
Yeah, it's a
Get her
beautiful,
out there.
beautiful country, and everyone's very, very polite and very, it's cool.
Being huge in Japan, that sounds like it sounds like a cool brag. I like that. Like, you know, like, yeah,
Like Godzilla, dude. It's like Godzilla.
It sounds awesome. So we just interviewed Andreas from Cabal, and I know he's really inspired by horror, and I asked him if he ever would, you know, either write a novel or make a movie. And I know that similarly, you're into like the MCU and comics, right? So do you ever envision yourself going further with that beyond writing lyrics about that? Would you ever want to make some kind of movie or become a writer or write a book?
I don't think I have enough know-how to do that. I think my expertise kind of stops at songwriting. It's nothing that I've taken off the table, but it's something that I've never thought to pursue. But yeah, I would like to do more concept stuff moving forward with music, though. I would love to do that because I had a great time writing the Phenomena record, and I would like to do something, not necessarily comic book characters, but I would like to do something story writing, like storytelling wise in the future for sure.
Got it. Concept album type Coheed.
Yeah.
Coheed.
I was going to say that Coheed style.
Dude, yeah, Coheed. He did.
Still waiting for that movie to come
comic
out.
book.
That'd be the best movie.
The Armory Wars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Super fucking cool. I read a couple of issues of that.
They've had it in works a couple times, but no one can really actually pull it off, and it always just fizzles away.
Actually, Scott Ian from Carnifex, he has a graphic novel out called Death Dreamer, which is super cool, super rad.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
I think he wrote a sequel. I don't know if it's out yet or not. Possibly.
All right. Yeah, definitely.
Would that ever be something that you would want to pursue, though? Doing some kind of graphic novel or something?
Maybe like a graphic novel where I can collab with someone who's, does it, for a living, and just kind of maybe steer a story or come up with a concept for a story. Maybe. I don't know.
Do you know that if that happens and you blow up, I would like a pat on the back for kind of starting that?
Yeah, dude.
Do you see bringing it back to the original conversation?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, hey, I was on Tour Buds and I just I realized after that show that I should be doing this. I need to write a graphic novel.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely have to owe you a couple of drinks if that comes to fruition for sure.
That'd be so cool. I'll hold you to it. Trust me.
Yeah, absolutely.
He definitely will hold you to it.
I'll hold you to it. I'll bother you until we go to KCBC.
Let's do it.
A lot of fans were shocked when you left. I mean, it's kind of the reason you had health issues, and it's kind of that's, if you left for any other reason, I think people might be upset in any kind of way, but I'm sure it's a very understandable reason. But did you feel like you were ready to walk away from the band at that point, or do you feel
at that point we were kind of talking about maybe slowing things down a little bit leading up to that headliner? We'll talk after we get home and kind of reassess stuff. And like I said, I didn't deal with major life changes very well at that point, so I pretty much stressed myself out while I was on the tour. And didn't take care of myself at all. I was mentally in a place where I was just kind of should we really be doing this? Do I really want to slow down doing the band? And just kind of really fucked with my head. So halfway through the tour, I was drinking a bunch, not taking care of myself, and woke up one day and my blood pressure was just through the roof, and I had to go to the hospital. And luckily my now wife was with me, and she was like, yeah, we should take care of this, to don't play the show tonight. And the doctor was like, I explained to him what I do, why I'm here and stuff. And he was like, yeah, you should probably like go home and take it easy for a little bit. Because if you continue doing what you're doing, it could, you know, you might have like a fucking heart attack or a stroke or something, because you're definitely very, very stressed out right now. And so that was, yeah, it broke my heart to do that. I honestly, like, I think about it every day. Like, I still don't forgive myself for leaving the tour like that. I really, really don't. Yeah. And good on Steve for coming in and saving the day and taking my place and finishing the tour. And, you know, he's in the band to this day, and they've had a couple of releases and stuff, and the band has gone on since me. So it's funny. Like, you realize that the band is bigger than any individual in the band. So whatever it needs to be done to make the band continue is more important than any kind of individual stuff that's going on. So I'm very happy that Ruins is still going, and I love those guys. I talk to Joe a couple times a month still, just kind of like fuck around, check in, and I talk to Steve a lot. We send pictures of each other's poop a lot, which
that's so cool.
That's how you know you're good friends, when you can send a picture of your turds to them. So.
Wow. Do you ever do you know, Misery Signals just had their farewell tour, and they had both singers for that. Well, I don't know. Have you ever done that, or would you do that? Like, not necessarily for a farewell tour, but just for like a show, or maybe for fun?
Yeah, I mean, I've hopped on stage with them twice now since I've departed, and it's been a lot of fun. I don't know. I mean, if they ever wanted to do reunion stuff, I would say yes in a heartbeat. That's not necessarily on the table at the moment, but if my phone rang, I would absolutely do it for sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Hopefully you get that phone call. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun.
Give the people what they want. Play the hits.
Yeah.
Play the hits.
Yeah. Give the people what they want. Absolutely.
Give the people what they want. I think that I think it's great that you're back at it, though. And is there something that you feel like you need to prove at this point, or are you just doing it? You're just having fun.
I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
I think everything that I had to prove, I pretty much left out on the table with Ruins, because we hit it hard for so fucking long. We kind of, I told this to Joe a couple of years ago. I was like, dude, we kind of like did the work, like, because they're not touring as much as they used to at all now either.
Yeah.
Nor do they have to. So it's kind of like we put our blood, sweat, and tears into it, and we did the work, and I think people will recognize that, and it's kind of like a rite of passage kind of thing, you know. So now I can just kind of make music for fun with my friends, and, you know, like I said, there's no deadlines, or it's very manageable and stuff, but it's cool. It's it's good feeling like myself again, doing music again.
Are you healthy now? Like, are you feeling?
Yeah. I'm absolutely. I see a doctor twice a year, and I get checked up on it all the time, and I'm solid right now. Have been for a while, mentally and physically.
I was gonna say, I think sometimes our bodies get fucked up, because it's like our minds manifest sickness.
Yeah, it really, that's what happened to me, basically. My brain fucked with me to the point of my body betraying me. But no, I've been great for, I don't know, I've been 8 years now, 7 years, 8 years now. Yeah,
that's great.
Take care of myself diet wise. I exercise four times a week, eat right, I kind of been paying attention to the news a little too much as far as like what's in our food and stuff, which has been fucked up. A lot of stuff's been coming out. So I've just been paying attention to that and just kind of being mindful of that. And just, I just turned 40 a couple weeks ago. So
congratulations. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Just got to take care of yourself, man. It's
you can't drink water. You can't drink tap water. You can't have nonstick pans.
Dude, yeah, I just saw the nonstick pan thing. Like if you scratch it, like a million microplastics go into your food or some shit like that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Fuck me, man.
It's rough out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that can kill you out there. So it's good to like be mindful of it as much as you can, you know?
Yep. Now
our parents and grandparents survived eating Spam and shit though. So you know what?
They didn't have no plastic though. They use glass everything. That's what you gotta buy, like everything glass to put your shit in.
Yeah.
You know?
They also didn't have like fucking glyphosate in their fucking pasta or nothing, you know?
Right, exactly.
They didn't have to worry about that shit.
Yeah,
until they started like, slow dripping it into society and stuff.
Trying to kill people off to make some room.
Exactly. It's fucking crazy.
Oh, it's Thanos style.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a, like, not to get so in the weeds, but do you feel like there's almost like a Thanos something going on? Kind of like don't procreate, like kind of like population control. Like
a higher power thing, or like a man-made thing. Like
I don't know, conspiracy style. Like there's this small group of people running the world, and we shouldn't be procreating, so they're kind of fucking with the food or whatever it is.
I think there's. I don't want to get too into it. I don't want to like.
But it's fun. Let's have some fun.
I'm not like a tinfoil hat guy at all, but it's just like
me either. But it's fun.
This is a fun conversation.
It's kind of like a happy coincidence that they put shit in our food so we develop these chronic illnesses, and then they have a magic pill for it. It's on for the rest of your life. Like, here you go. Here's the here's the cure for it.
You'll be healthy. That's fine.
It's fucking crazy, dude.
I'm picking up what you're putting down right now.
Yeah, and like the things that are coming out about like red meat and how like it's not that bad for you, it's actually really good for you, like that kind of stuff.
Same thing, like you can
eggs as well.
Eggs that you want and not have a heart attack, like they've been telling us forever.
And cholesterol is another thing that I've been diving into. Like high cholesterol is not bad if you are otherwise metabolically healthy, which I am. I have slightly elevated like LDL, and I saw my cardiologist the other day. He's like, "Oh, we should put you on a statin." I'm like, "Absolutely fucking not."
I've been told by close friends in the medical field not to take those.
Yeah, I took it once because I didn't know any better. I was like, "Oh, okay, you're recommending it, so I'll take it. I trust you. You're my doctor." And I felt like shit. My libido was down. My energy was down, and I was just like, I did some research on it. I was like, "Oh yeah, if you have like high cholesterol genetically, which I've had it since I was a kid." You're at no risk for like heart attack or anything like that, because you're not. I'm otherwise like completely healthy.
Is your libido through the roof now?
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
the wife doesn't complain.
I read something many moons ago that said like as men get older, we get less horny, and women get more horny. Are you experiencing that at all?
Not yet. No.
Not yet.
Since I turned 40, I guess it's this when it's supposed to start happening. But no, I'm still going.
Men are just disgusting creatures. We're so gross. we will fuck anything. We're just disgusting.
I mean, I'm a married man.
Not anything, but I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna fuck anything.
I'm just saying, like we've all been 16 and like you get a boner by the wind strikes just right, and to a degree it's kind of, I mean, it kind of stays like that a little bit sometimes. You wake up, you're like, oh shit, let's go.
Yeah,
we're just disgusting, but I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. It's a sign of good health. When if you at our age and stuff, you're waking up with boners. It's great. It's
true. I went through a phase not waking up with boners, and I think it was a mental thing.
Yeah,
because my testosterone was high, but I was just not waiting. I was limp noodle for a long time.
I thought every morning, but I would say 4 out of 7 days, I'm popping wood in the morning, which is great.
Great, Tim. That's great. Yeah. Hey, take us through your health regime. What are you doing right now exactly? I want to know. I want to do what you're doing. Just pop.
Yeah. So in the morning, I take. I'm obviously on blood pressure medication, which is fine. So I take that along with this stuff called Element. It's called LMNT. It's an electrolyte complex. So it's just sodium, magnesium, potassium, no sugar. Because like the whatchamacallit, the liquid IV and stuff, they have mad sugar, which is not good for you. So I take that in the morning with I have this stuff called Heart and Soil. Dr. Paul Saladino, he makes a line of supplements. It's basically just desiccated beef organs. So it's like beef liver, spleen, kidney, testicle. I forget what else is in it. I take that, and then I take ground up apple cider vinegar for the gut, and I take fish oil. And during the winter, I take like a D3/K2 dropper, because in the winter you're not getting as much sun, as much vitamin D. So I supplement that in.
What does that do for you?
Just improves your mood and improves your calcium delivery to the rest of your body, to your heart and stuff. I definitely noticed a difference using that stuff, because in the seasonal depression is a real thing when you're not getting as much sunlight.
Big time.
So when you supplement it in there, it's really good for you. And I also take a Muscle Farm Combat protein powder after my workouts with a dash of some creatine. Yep. And yeah, that's basically my what I put in my body, besides food and water and alcohol.
So you're still drinking though?
Yeah. I had
you get yourself healthy enough so you could drink.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's nice.
Like I said, I see my doctor twice a year, and I get my bloods done. Like all my liver enzymes are perfect. Everything's perfect. Green across the board, except for the cholesterol, which is, who cares?
Who cares about that? And you're working out, man. What kind of workouts are you doing? Just calisthenics or you weights?
No, I've actually, since I've been to like gyms like here and there, but I haven't belonged to a gym since right before COVID. Once that happened, I ordered a bunch of dumbbells, kettlebells, and just had like a whole home workout set up. And when we moved to our current spot in Ridgewood, we have like a downstairs area for like storage and stuff. And I bought a sauna, and I have that downstairs.
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Your apartment must be sick.
It's pretty sick.
You can have a sauna in this city. That's insane.
It's pretty fucking sick. That's why we renewed for the next 3 years. But yeah, I usually do 2 muscle groups a day. You like chest and abs, buys and back, or whatever, however I decide to do it. I usually work out lifting wise for like an hour, and then hop in the sauna for 30 minutes or so, 25, 30 minutes. Throw a podcast on in there. I have a bathtub, so I'll throw some ice in there. Only in like the warmer months, because when it's cold out, the last thing I want to do is get in a fucking ice bath.
Derek, this is a real man.
Andy, I gotta say, this has a Tim calendar written all over it.
Let's do it.
Oh, yeah. This is a real masculine. I am nothing right now.
The ice bath is sick, though. I will say, like sauna to ice bath. It's nice interesting. It's interesting.
Hey, Derek's working out, right? Derek, you were telling me you were working out too, Derek.
I try. I go on stints of like months and months of doing really well, and then I have like too many cheeseburgers, and I take like a month or two off and gain it.
It happens.
I just wrestle. I wrestle with the same like 20 pounds over and over again.
Same. Yeah, if I fluctuate with like 10, 15 pounds all the time.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Me and a couple buddies just did the dry January thing last month, coupled with like a fitness challenge. Like every day you had to do some kind of physical activity for at least 40 minutes every single day.
Wow.
We had a group chat. We'd hold each other accountable. Like, this is what I did today. Not like reps and like weight and stuff. It's like, hey, I did, chest, abs, and went on the bike for a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah. So that made a huge difference. So I'm trying to like maintain that now and not gain everything that I just lost back,
It is like once you get
are built in the kitchen, right? Abs are built in the kitchen.
Yes, exactly.
I don't have abs at all. Very, very slightly.
I think you only really can have abs for like a day at a time. Even people with abs, they're like, this is like my 24 hours with abs, and then they
it goes
away.
Absolutely.
I want to bare my soul to you about this right now. I just thought, do you know the moment I start working out and start eating well is when I stop, like, because I have a little gabans, a little gut. When I stop seeing the base of my wiener, when I stop, like, that's when I'm like, when I can't, and I'm like, it's so unflattering. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It makes it look way smaller than it is with the gut. And that's when I start working out.
Yeah. You got to do it for the dick, dude. Got to do it for the dick.
Gotta do it for the dick. It's important.
Yeah, when you lose weight, your dick looks like way bigger. It's
way bigger.
Fucking
and
awesome.
trim, shave it, and that's
yeah,
important.
It's great.
Who would have thought we're just going to talk about wieners and stuff like that? Derek, that's insane.
I didn't see that coming.
It's all Derek's fault. It's all Derek's fault.
We're all dudes.
Yeah,
we're all dudes.
All
Eventually, we got to talk about dicks, right?
Yeah, it's true. Everyone has to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if females watching I think they could appreciate that someone would take it into account that they can't see their wiener and they want to take better themselves, because it's not like I'm packing like I need every little morsel of my wiener. I need it.
Every little bit counts.
Every little bit counts. I actually my current lady once accidentally, she's lovely, she's amazing, shout out to Stephanie, she once told me, like literally told me, she was like, no, it's okay, but the really big ones hurt. It's fine, yours is perfect.
Oh no.
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh no.
I have a small wiener, I guess, dude. It's fine.
Andy did sit-ups for 4 hours after that.
Yeah. Do something.
Check this out. We got an extra 1 centimeter.
Dude, it's fine. I don't care. I embrace my body the way it is. It's just fine. But listen, hey, you're a co-owner of Ever Black Tattoo Studios. That's what it's called, right?
Yep.
And then what's your you have a tattoo removal as well? Is it? I'm assuming it's at the same spot. Just
yeah. It's under the same roof. So yeah, I own Ever Black Tattoo Studio with my wife Nikki Simpson, who is the lead artist. And I also own Gotham Tattoo Removal. That's kind of like my own hustle within the shop. Nice. I originally people were like, why don't you just have Ever Black Tattoo laser removal? But I was like, but I work with a lot of shops and a lot of artists throughout New York City. Right. So they wouldn't want to promote in like another tattoo shop. So for sure. So yeah, I just I made it a separate entity, and I laser artists for free and stuff in exchange for referrals they give me and stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's super rad. We just opened a new location in Bushwick a year ago now. So we've been there for about a year. We had a spot in Williamsburg for about 4 years, and we were in like a half basement type situation. It was like very private, and we got flooded on more than one occasion. But the last one, I was like, "This is it. We're gone." Yeah. But now we have a storefront that's 2 feet elevated from the street level, so that's why we went with that. But
pretty clear.
Yeah, it's been awesome. That's what we do, and have a bunch of really rad resident artists and guest artists throughout May right now. We're pretty stacked as far as artists go.
That's great. One of my good friends and his girlfriend, whatever they are, they opened a kind of a private shop up in Massachusetts, and she's in the same like black and gray kind of vein. Cambria Tattoo, shout out to them. She's pretty new, but she's killing it. She's got a bunch of awards and stuff like that. Awesome. It definitely seems like it's very upfront intensive with like opening a shop, like a tattoo shop with health and all that craziness. Was that like a pain in the ass in New York, who I would assume would be multiplied by a bunch?
Dude, you think so? But no.
All right, great.
I did all the research I could. I reached out to everyone that I could when we were opening the shop initially at the old location, like Board of Health and X, Y, and Z, and they were just like, no, the guidelines for opening a tattoo shop, you just need to have everyone licensed and insured, which we do. But as far as like the guidelines, they're currently under review, and they haven't released any like necessary guidelines, and they haven't for years. Like I talked to multiple tattoo studio owners that I'm friends with. I was like, do I need to do anything as far as like with the city or the state? And they're like, just make sure everyone's licensed and insured and you're good to go. And obviously keep it clean, which, you know, we do a very good job of doing.
Yeah.
Everything's very sterile and very clean. But yeah, it's wild. I thought there would be way more hoops to jump through, but there's not. And hopefully, you know, no officials, hopefully no like state officials or city officials are watching this right now. Like, oh, that reminds me, we got to crack down on this.
Yeah, exactly. They can look for you.
Yeah. Same thing with tattoo removal. Certain states you have to have like an MD in order to operate the laser.
Wow.
Not in New York though. You just need to be certified and properly insured as well, which I obviously have both.
Yeah, I think Massachusetts is one of those MD states because they were looking into that as well.
Yeah, I think Jersey, Connecticut. I think Massachusetts, you don't need an MD.
No, you would definitely know better than me.
Yeah, but definitely Connecticut and Jersey.
Yeah.
You
like the removal part? I mean, obviously it helps with business and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's sick. It's very fulfilling. I would say maybe as much as making music, because I've had the pleasure of like, you know, touring the world and having people come up to me and be like, your lyrics changed my life or saved my life or impacted me in a positive way. And that's I can't tell you what that does for a musician. If you ever meet your favorite musicians and you go up and tell them that will absolutely make their day. 100%. It's kind of validating to them to know that, you know, you helped someone out for sure.
Right.
And as far as tattoo removal goes, when I have someone come in and they're getting like really good results or their tattoo is either fully removed or they get it covered up, it's because sometimes, you know, they get tattoos that remind them of like a bad time in their life or whatever. And like I've had people in my room like crying, like thanking me and stuff. So it's kind of like that same kind of gratification. And like I'm on a very personal level with all my clients. I text them after their appointments, after the first appointments. I text everyone just to see how everyone's healing and stuff. And it's just a very personable industry, not industry, but industry. Sorry. It's very personable if you make it personable. But there's also like a corporate side to it because there's companies out there, of course, that are huge corporate conglomerates and stuff. And I didn't want to do that. So I'm just very DIY, very personable with everyone that I work with. And that kind of, everyone's very appreciative of that for sure.
That's awesome.
Have you ever laughed at someone's tattoo that you had to remove, or had to stop yourself?
When they're laughing as well, yes. But sometimes they're like not stoked. They're like very into it. And I'm just like, okay, you know, nothing I haven't seen. It's cool. We'll get it going for you. But sometimes if they're like lightheartedly, like I got this when I was fucking hammered at a bar, like I'm like, yeah, probably shouldn't have done that, but we're here.
It's the tattoo artist's responsibility not to tattoo people that are hammered, right?
Yeah, but you know, not everyone follows that.
Exactly.
Which bodes well for my business. I'm like, hey, keep getting shitty tattoos. Absolutely. You know? Absolutely.
Man. What's the worst one that you've seen? Are you allowed to say?
Confidentiality, yeah, because I have I can't say exactly, but I've seen like a lot of names, a lot of tribal, a lot of stick and pokes, and I do a couple things for free. I do like if someone has like radiation tattoos from from cancer and stuff, I remove those for free. And if anyone has any like domestic abuse type of tattoos, I do that for free as well. Like property of, or like anything like that, or any kind of like swastikas or prison stuff like that. I do that on the house. It's kind of like my way of giving back.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
If there's something, if we could sum up this interview, is that Tim is masculine and he's very manly and he's so kind.
You're making me blush, dude.
What a gem of a human you are, Tim. Wow.
Thanks, man.
That's so nice, man. That's so nice. I feel like it's better to be kind, right, than to be a fucking dickhead, though. Honestly,
Yeah,
it feels good to make people feel good. It feels good to make people feel good.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Let's keep that going. Let's fucking pay it forward and all that shit. Hey, speaking of good and bad and negativity, do you ever pay attention to, because no band or any artist can have 100% positive. Do you ever pay attention to comments at all? Negative comments?
Yeah, when I was in Ruins, I'd read all the fucking comments. Every single one. Obviously stuff that like people repost that's not like from your band page, so you lose track of that. So yeah, I don't really pay attention to that. But as far as like YouTube comments or Instagram comments or anything, like I do read them all. And I gotta say, like, not too much hate has come our way over the years, which has been, you get the occasional dickhead, but it's been pretty cool that we've been pretty well received even to this day. It's been pretty cool. It's very very reassuring that, like, you know, we made the music that we love and we want to, you know, put out, and other people are kind of on the same page with that. It's very very validating.
Yeah, I gotta say, you can maybe help my friend Andy here, because Andy's a comment. Not that we get a lot of comments yet, because we're relatively new, but we get a little here and there, and even a simple YouTube thumbs down, Andy gets all bent out of shape.
Can't sleep.
What am I doing wrong?
It bothers me. Like, I don't think we've had a bad comment yet. I know they'll come, but it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
And that will hurt my feelings, though. I'm very sensitive. And also, just like the thumbs down bothers me. I saw a thumbs down in one of our videos. Like, what? Who would come to a video just to thumbs down it? And Derek is so cool. I think that's great that we're very opposite. Derek's so stoic and nothing fucking phases him. This shit, like, I'm like, what the fuck did I do wrong? What did I do? What can I do better? I fucking suck.
Yeah, sometimes the thumbs down is worse than a comment.
Oh,
because someone's just like, they're just like, fuck this. Click.
What didn't you like?
What? Like, you know how much work goes into this? You fucking asshole. Like, come on.
I'll admit someday that it's just me thumbs downing the videos to get a rise out of them.
Oh shit.
That's not
there.
nice.
It is.
No, it's not. It's not me. You can be mad. You can be mad at unknown strangers.
I want to know. I just want to know. You know what it is? It bothers me that I'll never know who the fuck it is. Like, show me your face, because it's probably someone I know that, like, doesn't want me to do. Tim,
be. So
you could relate to it. There are people in your life that don't want you to succeed, and they're probably closer to you than you think.
Not that I know
Maybe not
of.
for you. Maybe not for you. Not for you. I'm saying in general. Like, all right, before you joined Within the Ruins, right? Mm-hmm. You're doing your thing, you're local dude. There are friends that didn't want to see you succeed. I guarantee you. That didn't want it. And then when you did, then they wanted to be your friend.
Then they're asking you for guest lists and shit.
Exactly.
The first ones.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm going to keep a list of negative comments, and if I ever see them, I just won't be nice to them. Okay. I will. Admittedly, I have to be. I'm a nice person, but it will bother me.
It's going to kill you inside.
Yeah.
Don't let it get to you too much. It's the internet, so there's gonna be dicks out there, no matter what.
So true. Yeah. It's so true. Maybe if something happens, maybe I could just lean on you a little bit, and we could grab a beer.
Yeah, dude.
Grab a beer, and I can talk to you about
me.
Absolutely, I got you. We're homies now, so I got you.
Means a lot to me. Hey, I think we're ready for this next segment, Derek. How do you feel about that? Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. This is our segment that we like to do nowadays, and it is called Rapid Fire with Derek G.
So
I'm pumped.
Every time. So we just rapid fire questions. Andy's got the best sound effects going in the game. So we'll just rapid fire some questions, one word, short answers, and we'll fire through, and we'll see where we get.
All right.
First one: if you could be any villain for a day, who would it be?
Magneto.
Love it. Biggest fear?
Heights.
If you could live in a movie universe, which would it be? Not and like be more specific. I know it's like Marvel or comics, but like what movie series or comic book series
that I would live in?
Yep.
I don't know if it'd be like a Marvel because everything's getting fucked up all the time.
Everything gets fucked up the whole time.
Shit. This is a good question. I think I would want to live in. This is a tough one. I know it's supposed to be rapid fire, but
no, I like deep answers.
Yeah. I would say I wouldn't mind living in I guess like a Sopranos universe.
Okay, that's just like where I live.
Yeah. It's
You
kind
can
of
move
like
to
what
it. You can
I
move
grew
over
up
here.
with. Yeah. But like be in the mob. Like I would like to,
Yeah.
you know, like with like those kind of like campy characters, you know, not like the
Yep.
real mob where it's all fucked up. Let's keep
Also,
going.
this, by the way, this
In the
segment
good
is
times.
called rapid
Yeah.
fire, like, you know, a large person is called Smalls.
Yeah.
It's not as rapid.
It's not as rapid as it sounds.
No.
Strangest request you guys have made on a tour rider, or that you've seen on a tour rider?
We never ever had anything like weird. I think I've seen on a tour rider. I guess I would have to be like the classic Ozzy Osbourne, where he was like, I only want like green M&Ms or some shit like that. Yeah.
All right. If you could bring a musician back from the dead, who would it be? And it would be for a collab in some sort.
Dimebag Darrell.
Love it. Great answer.
Great.
Strangest injury you've ever had?
Strangest injury. On
Or
tour,
a weird circumstance for an injury?
on tour, I thought I sprained my toe on stage, but it lasted for like a day or two. But then I went to a doctor because it happened again when I got home, like right after tour. I was like, I definitely didn't sprain my toe. Like I'm just like walking around like normal. And my doctor was like, oh no, you got gout. I was like, gout? What the fuck? It's from like eating fast food every day and like drinking a lot. Like
living,
Dude, my
yeah.
father has
eating
gout.
Little
Damn.
Caesars
Yeah.
and bullshit.
So yeah, if your big toe ever swells up, it might be gout. So just
Gout.
take some ibuprofen, you'll be all right.
Okay. Let's do a few more here. Any interesting superstitions or habits you had playing shows or on the road?
Superstitions. Not really. Just kind of like always have like the same ritual pre-show.
Yeah.
If I didn't do my pre-show ritual, it might be a bad show. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Don't smoke weed before you play if you're a frontman.
You forget all the words.
You get really weird in between songs.
You just talk the whole set. You get lost in a hole.
Yeah.
Go to horror film.
Go to horror film. I'm gonna go with something recent. The Substance.
Okay.
Just fucking awesome. But classic, I would go with like Halloween.
Good
Yeah.
one. Let's see. Then we kind of covered that. An unforgettable experience you had with a fan, like a kind of a random one-off, good or bad.
Yeah, that's we've had so many. Just like people are so nice to us, letting us stay at their houses or.
What's the
buy us
weirdest?
drinks at
Where's the weirdest
bar.
house you stayed at? Like weirdest
Oh, man.
sleeping situation, because that's probably more fun.
Yeah, that's a little bit more specific. Yeah, I think we were in Oklahoma once and get to this girl's house and her mom is a hoarder. Like, yeah, there's like dog shit on the fucking floor and like stacks of newspapers and like piles of garbage. And we go into her room and her room is fine, but it's a fucking bedroom and it's like 6 of us plus her. And they were like, we're all not going to stay in here, right? What the fuck?
That's
and I had the number. I had a number of another dude who offered us a place to stay. I was like, I'm gonna hit this dude up. So half of us stayed there for whatever reason, I don't know. But half of us went to this other dude's house, and he lived in like a gated community, beautiful house. He had like a pool in his backyard. I was like, yeah, this is the right move. This is sick.
That was the right phone call to make.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. Must-have tour food, snack.
In-N-Out Burger.
Good one. Most chaotic show that you've played.
It's kind of like a selfish answer, but New York City is always ridiculous.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would say runner-ups or Chicago, anywhere in Texas, Portland, Oregon. Yeah.
Yep. Go-to drink. Alcoholic drink. What's your drink of choice?
If I'm shooting, usually tequila. If I'm sipping, whiskey. If I'm just kind of like chilling with the boys, throwing it back, either like a White Claw or like some kind of hard seltzer or lightish beer. I don't really pound beers anymore. The older you get bloated really fucking quick.
It's a lot of bathroom trips.
Yeah.
Before I get drunk.
We'll close out with one sentence to describe Blood Throne's upcoming music.
Metal as fuck. Yeah. Super fucking metal.
Right. And that was Rapid Fire with Derek G.
It's fun every time.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's great.
there.
What happened, Andy?
I had my pan. I was fucking with the pan while I was doing that thing, so I had to recover. I got a little overwhelmed. I'm sorry about that. It felt good though. That was Tim. You've done so much. You've said it all. You are amazing. You're a great human being, and thank you for being a friend to the show. It's been fantastic, and I know you made Derek's dreams come true.
Yeah,
today.
it's a pleasure, Tim. You know, my life is fulfilled.
Thank you guys so much for having me on. I'd love to do it again at any point you guys want me to come back on. I'd love to.
Yeah, right on. We appreciate that, and maybe we'll link up somewhere at some point.
You know, we are starting to do like once a month, like an in-studio thing where we just have like a little quick chat, and then the bands play like 3 or 4 songs. If you're ever interested in rocking that, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Absolutely, definitely.
Yeah, we could hook that up.
For sure.
Last words for any fans. What do you want them to know?
Thank you for the support through all the years, and thank you for continuing to follow what I do musically and professionally. And more to come. And follow me at Tim Ruins. Tattoo removal is at Gotham Tattoo Removal. Tattoo shop is at Everblack Tattoo Studio across all platforms, and Bloodthrone Official across all platforms as well. A lot of handles, a lot of pages I'm managing.
It's tough.
Jesus.
It's tough when they have the same name. Never mind all the different ones.
Yeah, Jesus.
I'm so happy that you have things to promote like that, though. It's great. You have a very fulfilling life.
Yes. It's been very nice. Very nice.
And I think Derek and I could both say that we wish that we were half the man that you are, and could do the workouts that you do. And we're very proud of you.
Let's work out together, man. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Watch my life changes now, Derek, and I'm just like fucking ripped. And honestly, because we're also shooting this like little TV show thing about like this, but like at venues. I saw these edits, and I'm like, I just can't look at myself. I can't. It's disgusting.
The camera does add a little bit of weight.
Yeah. Thank you.
Not right now. You look great. You look great right now. But
you talk like you're 400
from
pounds.
Yeah.
All I could see is belly. All I could see is stomach in this fucking show. So all right, we're gonna work out, and then the next season I'm gonna be shredded, and it's gonna be sick.
Yeah, dude.
I'm just trying to look cute. Hey, everybody, Tim Goergen, and go follow him. And thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you all.
Been fun, guys.
YouTube. Thanks, Tim. Tim, can you just chill after for like 5 minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. Thanks. Later, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.